Hello care leaders, my name is Karen Dorrington and I'm a leadership and performance coach with the Above and Beyond group. Thank you for clicking on this video today. I'm really excited to be here with you to share with you some tricks that are useful to you in your life right now. Firstly, we're going to look at the Life Balance Wheel, which is a quick self-check-in tool. It's a self-awareness tool which will help you understand how you're feeling about all of the different aspects of your life right here and right now, and then we'll look at what the opportunities are for you going forward. Then we're going to talk about something called negative self-talk, and I'm going to give you 4 different techniques to help you bust those negative self-talk moments. Now, if you don't understand what self-talk is, no problem. We're going to cover that in more detail down the track. Lastly, we are going to look at our daily routines. We'll take a deep dive into your daily routines to help you get more out of your day, to help it be more productive, more efficient, but most importantly, it will help you bring more joy to your life every day. Does that sound good? Great. Let's get started. This chat is going to be about self-mastery and leading yourself. It's what psychologists call self-regulation or self-control. And it's the ability to get yourself to consistently behave in ways that move you forward towards your goal rather than away from them. It's the ability to set a course of action and keep moving forward no matter how hard things get or how unmotivated you might feel. Perhaps it's the most important skill set you can have today, which is your commitment to your own growth and self-mastery. In other words, a growth mindset. Now, if you don't know who we are at the Above and Beyond group, we support the aged care and community services organisations to help positively transform workplaces and also help individuals transform their careers. So please grab a cup of tea, sit back and relax, and grab your journal if you've got it or a pen and paper, and enjoy the next 15 minutes. So the next couple of minutes is all going to be about why we need to fit our own oxygen mask before we fit others. Self-mastery focuses on your relationship with yourself, your self-awareness, and your care of yourself. It is what is required of you to be the best version of yourself so that you may turn your focus outwards to be a better leader for your team, for your family, and for the wider organisation. Now, specifically in the care and community services industry, whilst it's so rewarding, and it can actually also be quite high pressured, we're in a time of fantastic growth and change. And that can be exciting, but it can also be quite stressful and trigger anxieties. On the screen here is the infographic about where self-mastery fits into the bigger picture. You can see in the green box here, leading self, and all the components of that, including well-being, flexibility, agility, courage, vulnerability, and self-management. Leading self has to come first, if not equal to the other domains, or leading others, or leading change, business, operations, care standards, and the vision and purpose. When we stop controlling the things around us and we start controlling ourselves, this is when great leadership happens. If we master ourselves, then doing business is actually easier. Facing challenges becomes an exercise rather than a hurdle to overcome, and we are better able to lead and serve others. So you can see, as a leader, self-mastery is not a nice to have. It's essential. And yes, you've just heard me right. You've got permission to put yourself up there on the priority list. And if you don't feel like you can do that right now, then maybe it's a good time to ask yourself, why is that? And what is that costing you, short term and long term? Are you giving the best version of yourself to your family and your team members? And if the answer is no, then that's okay. You're in the right place and you can get started. Okay, Let's get kicking on the very first takeaway for the day, the life balance wheel. But just before we do so, let's take some magic breaths to get our thoughts and juices flowing. The reason why I call them magic breaths is because if you just do a few of these, you can really help yourself get focused and calm. If you do 10 of these, then I promise you, you can get yourself out of a very stressed state and into a calm space quite quickly. So the trick is to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 4. So let's do this together. We'll do a few rounds. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And again, breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 and out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The life balance wheel is a powerful assessment tool and a great foundation for setting goals. It helps you reflect on the areas of your life that you find the most important and assess how satisfied you are with your current situation. The idea of the life balance wheel originally came from Buddhism, and the modern version was created by a life coach pioneer, Paul Meyer. It is simply a way to assist you to balance all aspects of your life amongst your chosen areas. And it's no secret that living a balanced life helps you feel healthy, fit, energized, and happy. It helps you avoid burnout and exhaustion and negative emotions like stress, anger, and resentment. Hopefully you've got your pen and paper handy. If not, you can pause this video now. Now let's take a look at the life balance wheel itself. What you are seeing is the major aspects of your life. You can choose your own areas, but here are some suggestions for the purposes of this exercise. So step 1 here is to draw yourself a circle and pop all these contributing factors down. Once you have done that, go ahead and rate yourself from 0 being least satisfaction and 10 being the most satisfied with your current situation. Place a dot on each of these lines and assess your satisfaction level. Go ahead and pause the video whilst you do this. Now let's line the dots up so you're creating an uneven circle, and let's look at the shape. What is this information telling you? You can take a pause here and jot down any thoughts that come to mind of what is going well and what needs some attention. So your next task is to place a realistic dot on where you would like to be. This dot doesn't have to be at 10, it is wherever you want to be, and sometimes good is enough. The beauty of this tool is that you can remeasure at any time and whenever you want to check in with yourself. What actions do you need to take in each of these areas to get to that dot? Remember, the little steps will bring you closer to your goal. Scheduling it in will also bring you closer to your dreams and your goals, and it will make it reality and not just a plan. So set yourself a date when you might like to check in on all of this again. And one last time, please go ahead and take a pause on the video so you can do that thinking. Okay, so now you know where you're at and where you might like to be and what steps you need to do to get there. I hope this information has been helpful to you to do some great thinking. Now we're going to move on to life hack number 2, negative self-talk. Is it your friend or is it your foe? Self-mastery takes self-awareness, and one of the most powerful things that we can do for ourselves is regularly check in with ourselves about how we're speaking with ourselves and how we're treating ourselves. In other words, how do we talk to ourselves in both the good and the more pressured moments? The way we talk to ourselves shapes our emotions and our actions. So you can see it's imperative that we regularly check in on how we treat ourselves. Most people have a story about ourselves that is unhelpful and it's a story that we believe about ourselves too. Do you have this? Are your thoughts supporting you in creating your most joyful and fulfilling life? Or are they causing you worry and despair on a regular basis? So we're going to jump into an example here. So on the screen, what you can see is a couple of examples. One is a less helpful way of speaking, and the bottom one is actually a more helpful way of thinking and self-talk. A simple example, we received some criticism from our work, from our supervisor. I go home, I have a glass of wine, and I start thinking about, I'm a bit of a loser, I can't do anything right. I completely forget about all the good things I've done in that day. I start to doubt myself. I start to feel down. I let that emotion take over me. And then as a result, I walk into work the next day and I withdraw. I lose my confidence and I lose my motivation. I've got no plan of action. I just think I'm not doing well at work anymore. That doesn't have a happy ending. Compared with, I received some criticism at work from a supervisor. Okay, I leave the office. I thank him for the feedback. I think about this and go, oh right, well this is a chance for me to get better. I can learn something from this. Mistakes are mistakes. Let's just move on. So I'm feeling motivated now. I believe in myself and I can move on and I can actually use this as a learning experience. As a result, I've just developed myself. I've got a growth mindset and I am going to achieve my outcome because of the way I've spoken to myself. I have a core self-belief that I'm able to overcome this challenge. As you can see, your self-talk impacts your self-regulation and your self-control. In other words, your emotions and your actions. I invite you now to spend a few minutes to do an inventory of your last 24 hours. If you choose to do this, you can become aware of the way you treat yourself and the way you talk to yourself. We are not doing this to judge ourselves, but we're doing it with love and acceptance and without criticism. It's just for learning and just for awareness. Go ahead and pause this video and take an inventory of your last 24 hours. What did you do? What did you do well? What was challenging? And did you notice the way you spoke to yourself in those moments?